the All Need Music Podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Jesse. I thought you were sitting next to me. I was looking at you. You didn't look back at me, so I had to turn to the camera.
Now when I edit this, I'm going to put you like looking the opposite way of me.
Right.
People are like, what the hell is he talking about? So we're back again for another episode.
So sometimes when we do these podcasts, we record a couple of them in the night. Just because Matt's in Studio North, I'm in Studio South. We both have full-time commitments throughout the day, so sometimes we have to, life gets in the way, and maybe once we
you guys can prevent that.
Yeah, you can prevent that, and you guys are well on the way right now. You guys have been kicking butt for our followers and subscribers, so we appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sometimes we record a few of these at a time. And sometimes it gets a little crazy around these places.
Yeah, I can
only stare at his face so long, before I just start going a little cuckoo.
Yeah. Ditto.
I know, you're looking at yourself in the thing, right?
Right. Yeah, I can only stare at myself for so long. So, we started an episode.
Plus, the Golden God mug continues to refill itself. My assistant just keeps magically refilling it.
Right. Probably the only decent thing your hand's done today.
About to slap.
Any rate,
it's a good thing we're not talking about anything important on here besides a recap.
Yeah, so this is our recap of events and major shout out and thank you to everybody for the viral videos that we've had here in the last couple weeks and for jumping our follower count substantially.
By the time you guys are seeing this, hopefully we will be at over 10,000 followers. So
yeah, I mean we picked up. I don't know if you looked. We picked up 400 during the last episode while we were recording it.
Nice.
So I mean it's going pretty damn well, I would say.
Yeah, let's keep this train moving because the quicker that we can get to where we're actually there's a possibility we could someday make some money off of doing this podcast thing.
Right.
We always said from the get-go that if we could make a few bucks just to get us to a couple extra concerts a year, that we'd be happy. And so if we could make it to where maybe we didn't have to have the full-time commitments outside of this, we could put more time and effort into this and maybe be recording live a lot more, maybe down in Nashville. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be great.
For
sure. And it's been great so far, right? Like obviously it's always been, we want to talk about artists that we enjoy and shows that we go to. And from that standpoint, it's already paid off. We've met some great artists along the way, forged some really cool relationships with a number of really, really good musicians in the industry and, some other industry professionals. And so if that's all it ever was, we already won, right? As far as I'm concerned. But, it's even evolved into, and I teased Jesse about it and gave him a bit of a hard time. He's sour with me for not, there was some miscommunication.
Is that what you're calling it now?
I stand by, I said that it was happening. And Jesse stands by that the last thing I said was that I couldn't make it work. But, recently the Creakers
whoa, you got to backpedal a little bit.
For what?
That wasn't where we're starting this off. You got to start with the preempt of how this conversation came about. What were we doing then?
Oh, so all right. So
So this is basically a podcast about the day in the life of viral podcaster country music edition.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah, it was more of the last about month of what we've been up to, and just kind of recapping. If you guys have been following us on social media, you'll see clips here and there of stuff that we've been doing. But we just wanted to kind of give you a little recap and tell you all the fun and everything and adventures that we've had and what we are looking forward to in the future.
Yeah. So we went to the intersection in Grand Rapids to see our girl Mae Estes.
Yeah.
And she was opening for Priscilla Block at the intersection.
But like he said, we went to see Mae Estes.
100%. But yeah, there's no doubt about what we went to do.
And it was actually, didn't we look it up? It was like 2 years almost to the day of when we first seen Mae Estes.
It was.
And discovered her. It was that same weekend. I think it was like a day different, like 2 years prior. Oh, you got yours there? Ooh, I like that one. It's a little different than mine. Yeah. Shout out to Damn It Dan. He got us some sweet merch from Mae's booth. We both got a hi-hat drum cap that they took off, and she signed it. The whole band signed it and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was almost 2 years to the day of the first time we went and saw Jackson Dean 2 years ago at the intersection. And that's what we went for, was Jackson Dean, and got totally blown away when this little gal came out here with her guitar and opened and just blew the doors off that place. And fast forward about 2 years, we've seen her, gosh, I don't know how many times, and met her and hung out with her.
I think that was 6 for me, maybe 6 or 7.
But it was one of those concerts that, gosh, when was it? It was like last August, I think it got announced. And all I seen was Mae Estes coming back to the intersection, and I jumped on right away and purchased 4 tickets for myself and Tosh and Matt and Megan, just because I knew that. And then oh yeah, it was for Priscilla Block. I'm like, I didn't even look at the headliner. I was just going no matter what.
Right.
So yeah, that was that's what we were there for.
100%. And as always, she absolutely killed it. It was a great freaking show. And I think we stuck around for a couple of songs for Priscilla Block, and then we headed out.
Yeah. We there was some bad weather on our way down and coming home. We were there for Mae. We're maniacs,
yep,
if you will. So wanted to get on the road. Luckily, we did too. Dang, we almost didn't make it home that night.
Right? Yeah, accidents all over the place. But we ended up taking 4 others with us to the show.
5.
Yeah. We ended up rolling 9 deep to that show.
Yep.
And it was a couple of them had never seen Mae before. A couple of them had. But love taking people to see artists that we love, and went back to Jesse and Tasha's place afterwards, crashed there. And we were talking about the following Saturday that the Creekers were going to be in Flint at the Machine Shop.
Creek Squad?
No, not Creek Squad. Creekers.
Oh, yeah. Creek Squad's different.
Any rate, so my son was coming back from college. I thought for just the weekend. Turned out it was for spring break. Jesse had family obligations up in Traverse City, And then it was like, well, we're coming back on Saturday. And he says that I said I can't make it work. I say that I said when he told me that he'd be back on Saturday, I was like, well, let's do it then. And never discussed it more than that.
Right. So there's where I said, I'll be back Saturday morning. If you want to go, let me know. And he claimed that he was like, well, let's do it. So in that terms, I'm going to ask the interwebs here, all our followers and subscribers, you tell me that if I was going to go to a concert with you and I said, let's do it, don't you think you would have communicated, that entire week? Like, hey, what time are you going to get there? Do you want to meet for dinner beforehand? Like we do at every concert.
You don't ever communicate anything. That's the problem.
I line everything up. You didn't tell me until
You lined everything up?
Yeah. I always got to know, what are we doing? Where are we pre-drinking? Where are we pre-gaming at?
Okay.
Yeah, I know
not
all
lining
that
anything up.
Sure the hell is. No, and what it is, Matt wanted to, go down there solo, with his other concert buddy, and get a little one-on-one time, I guess.
No.
Because you think that if somebody would have been like, yeah, hey, let me know when you're going, that they would have been like, hey, we're leaving Petoskey right now. We'll be in Flint at this time. Are you going to meet us? But there was none of that.
No, because you never said anything else about going.
I told you that if you were going to go to let me know.
No, you did not. You did not. Those words never came out of your mouth. Jesse, and this is where you can't have the internet rely on it. You could just ask Tasha. Jesse loves to fabricate stories of what he said, and he didn't say it, but in his mind he said it.
Do you want? She was the one that I actually said that. I can get her on the podcast, and I can vouch that your wife the other day when we were talking about it, she was like, "Don't ask me, I don't remember." She was basically saying, don't ask me because I know Jesse's right and I don't want to go against my husband.
No.
Because Tasha said that you exactly verbatim what I said. She said that, 100%. That's what came out of my mouth. And what came out of your mouth was, Spencer's in town. I don't know. And I said, well, if plans change, let me know. Never heard from him. So anyhow, Matt shows up and he's magically in Flint at a concert, and you would think he would let his co-host know of a podcast, that he was at least on his way down.
I did. I snapped you on the way down, and you said, on your way to Flint? And I said, yeah. And that was early enough in the day that you could have certainly gone and met us there if you wanted to. And you did not. I
responded, and you never responded back.
Wrong. Yeah. Absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
No. See?
I was like, going to see the Creekers, and I get a yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That's what I responded back. Yeah, okay. Ha, ha, ha. And then there was nothing. And then all of a sudden he's sending me videos from there. It's okay. I totally understand. So the Creekers are a bunch of country-ass folk from down in the sticks.
Yep.
And Matt, being the city boy from California, he didn't want the country boy to outshine him, because when they're talking, they're going to talk country boy shit. Just like Waylon Hannell does, and every time it's over Matt's head when we're talking about hunting and fishing and diesel trucks.
Really? Hunting and fishing? I do more fishing on accident than you do on purpose.
Yeah, okay.
And I sure as hell ain't the one wearing Abercrombie. So, country boy that all you want.
Creek Squad, baby. Creek Squad. Abercrombie. More fishing. You finally got into fishing this last year.
Do you not wear Abercrombie jeans? Just a simple yes or no.
Your Honor,
can I treat him as a hostile witness?
I don't think I own a pair of Abercrombie jeans.
Lies.
I have Duluth Trading Company. I have some Ariats.
Lies.
I have a lot of Wranglers.
And
there might be a pair in there, I'm sure. I mean, Abercrombie and Fitch was a mountaineering and camping store
200 years ago.
$200 jeans.
Any rate, so it did end up being a super cool experience at the Creekers. I do wish Jesse could have been there because we've talked about it a ton. Where it's like, man, wouldn't it be badass? Like if, we go to a show and an artist was like, hey, you want to come hang out on the tour bus, which we did that with Waylon, at the Emmett County Fair last year. But
did with Jake Slay.
Yeah, went to his recording or his rehearsal studio there. So we've definitely had some cool experiences, but I was in the parking lot at the machine shop, had just recorded a little video, and you guys might have seen that one on the interwebs, and Anna Blanton, the fiddle player, she shouting out in the background, and I get done recording, and their manager comes over and was like, hey, you want to come meet everybody? And it was like, absolutely. And they had seen the podcast that Jesse and I had did. And so they signed this guitar that we've got that we're going to give away on the podcast, and a tour poster.
We might be giving away that guitar a lot quicker than we thought.
Yeah, probably will.
Didn't we say 10,000 followers?
Yeah, we never made an official announcement on that, but that was our discussions that we had for sure.
That's because we said, yeah, once we reach the milestone of 10,000, when we're sitting at like 850, like, yeah, someday we'll get there.
Well, the reality is there's only room for about probably 4 more signatures on it. It's pretty full anyway.
It's loaded. Especially once you and I sign it, because people are going to want, viral superstars.
So at any rate, we end up getting invited.
Dan's got to sign it.
Yeah. They've got a couple of trailers outside the machine shop for green rooms.
From the 60s, right?
It's probably 70s.
70s?
Yeah. It had some shag carpet.
So in this whole debacle of bullshitness of Matt not actually inviting me, and he's like sending me these things, and I was like, bullshit. Like, I'm still like flabbergasted because like he's like, I'm like, are you on your way to the Creekers? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, haha, funny, LOL. And then I don't hear shit from him until all of a sudden like he's there, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, no invite? What? And he's like, and Matt's like, as much a non-techie that, Matt talks about him not being able to do, on his little phone, he's got this little stylus pen, and he makes some pretty elaborate like memes and stuff like that, with people in our group, to where like he'll take a picture and like Photoshop it and like write titles and shit like that. So he sends me this video.
It was a picture first.
Or it was a picture first, and I was like, yeah, bullshit, like nice AI shit. And then he's sending me a video, and it's like, I kept rewatching the video over and over, like the beginning of it, and I was like, yeah, okay, nice 1970s trailer house. Like, I'm sure it's a video that like the Creekers down in Kentucky might have been in, like Meemaw's old, shack trailer. That's what it looked like was an old shack trailer, like out in the middle of the boonies, and they're drinking some whiskey and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, you superimposed yourself into the seat over here, and it's a video of these Creekers like sitting there talking. And then
that video is great too, because I got to put that one out. That story that Tanner tells on that little clip, I didn't even know Carl was recording at the time, but he was, and he was talking about getting shit-faced drunk and having to round up cattle the next day, and he was like, snaps out of a blackout on the back of a horse, running 25 head of cattle into wherever he was taking him to, and was like puking off the side of his horse and everything. It was a great story. But yeah, they invited us into this trailer, and they're like, you want a beer? And I'm like, not a big beer drinker. I'm like, I'm more of a whiskey drinker. And they're like, oh, we got that too. And poured a glass of whiskey and just sat there kind of shooting the shit. And then they were like, you want to record something? And it was like, hell yes, I do. So, you know, recorded about a 30-minute little podcast that'll has already come out by the time this one will air. And that's literally at the machine shop in their little green room trailers.
Creaker trailer.
Right. On the door of that thing, on the inside of the door, it's got like a no diving sign like you'd have at a swimming pool. And we're sitting there talking, and I just happened to look at it, and I'm like, no diving? What the fuck is this? No diving? That's horse shit. Like, what are you going to dive out of the trailer?
That's when I was like, shit, that might be real.
Yeah.
This ain't AI. He might have this.
Yep, it was. And they were cool as shit to hang out with. Like, super, super nice. Although Alan and Tanner, guys, I'm still waiting for my hat.
Yeah, me too. Creek Squad. Yeah, it was pretty funny. You posted that video then, like shortly after when you were out front, like talking, and Anna rolls up and she was like, the Yankees here, the Yankees here. Right. And I'm sitting there and you're like, yeah, Jesse, that one's for you. And I'm sitting here like, what?
You called her a Yankee on the podcast.
Right. I was like, she called me a Yankee? I'm like, okay. Like, I don't get it. Why is that one for me? And then I was like, wait a second. Shit. I think the whiskey might have been flowing that night when we were doing that podcast. And then I do remember that we were talking about
where they were all from.
They're all from Kentucky, but we didn't know exactly where she was from. And I wasn't calling her a Yankee. I said she could be a Yankee. And I said, but when you play the fiddle like that, it doesn't really matter where you're from. Like, she's that good that she can be a Yankee, and it wouldn't be a bad thing.
There was some comments on social media because one of those clips went out too, and they were like, yeah she's from Southern Indiana. And somebody
that's the furthest thing from a Yankee.
Like, somebody was like, Southern Indiana ain't a Yankee. Like, there was
and I was like, well, it's not though. Like, Southern Indiana, like, where's the cutoff line?
The Mason-Dixon.
Right. So where's the Mason-Dixon? Is that in Southern Indiana?
I believe it's south of Indiana. I'm pretty sure.
Right. So she technically is a Yankee then.
Let's look it up while we're sitting here.
Well, regardless, yeah, when she plays like that, it doesn't really matter where she was from. I was just I wasn't calling her. It's fine with me if you're a Yankee. I mean, obviously we're Yankees, but Southern at heart though. So there you go, Southern soul. You looking it up?
Yep.
The Mason-Dixon line.
Yep. Mason-Dixon line literally runs across Southern Ohio, Southern Indiana, down around Illinois, then goes up north of Missouri and across northern Missouri and Iowa. And so, yes, technically speaking, she is from north of the Mason-Dixon line, which would qualify that statement as accurate.
I would say I'd like a shout out on your next Creekers video just to set the story straight. We won't go there. How about right. how about y'all come on the podcast and we'll talk about it then. Then we'll set it straight there.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm certain that they would. I've actually interacted with all of them on social media from their private accounts. Not their Creekers account since then. All just super cool people, so down to earth, and like I said in a post after that show. I had more fun at that show. Not that they're better than anyone that I've seen in a long time. They're really good. I'm not saying they're not either, but like, it was just fun. The fun level I guess, is what was different. That like the energy. That's not nice.
So you know what's not nice? Going to a concert, not telling somebody you're going to a concert without them after we've been to. Wait, what was it? I mean, shit, our tally's probably in the 250 concerts together now.
Yeah.
But yet,
but we don't always
the most
go
fun
together.
you've had is without me.
No, I'm just saying show wise, not who I'm there with group wise. It was just their energy.
You didn't say that in your post.
So what I meant by that, so let me clarify that, right? Is
please do.
Is that
this is the first public apology I've heard.
You go to shows and some artists you can tell really enjoy what they're doing when they're doing that show. And some of them you can tell is it's another day of work. They're doing the same show that they performed the night before in another city, and they're going to perform tomorrow night in another city, and another night in another city, and it's just that's what it becomes, right? The daily grind, kind of like it is for anyone else at work, right? You just going through the motions. With them, I did not feel that way at all, and obviously, it's the only time I've seen them. I would wager to guess that if I saw them again, I would probably feel the same way. It felt like they were just there having fun. Like, I've always wanted to go down, just be in some podunk holler somewhere in the middle of nowhere and listen to some good old boys and good old gals just picking and grinning. Right on a porch, just traditional.
You want to be in a canoe and a little banjo playing. That's what you want to do.
Not quite like that. No, but like just sitting around with people, and they're doing a craft that they love, and it's not for an audience. It's not for likes or views or anything. It's just, hey, we're just sitting here strumming and playing and having a good time. And that's the closest that I've ever come to that, right? Like, I believe, in my heart that they brought the holler to Flint, Michigan, and everyone there got to just kind of experience that, just sitting around playing music. You could tell they were having fun with each other on stage. Obviously, you couldn't hear everything they were saying, but I'm certain that they were like talking trash to each other between songs and stuff like that, because they'd walk up to one another and say something, and then they like start laughing. It was like they were just having fun, and it just made the show feel like it wasn't a job.
That story right there makes me feel a lot better about this whole situation, because I was spot on when I was talking about it earlier. They kept saying, look at that city ass boy over there. Look at that old dude. Was that Santa Claus over there? Look at Mr. Potato Head. Like they were laughing at you.
Is that what it was?
Because they were like, look at this country ass cracker.
I'm telling you, I'm going down to Kentucky, and I'm gonna hang out with them one of these days when they've got like a 2-week stretch without shows. I'm gonna reach out to them and be like, can I just come down and hang out with you guys and listen to you guys play when you're sitting around doing nothing?
Right.
And it's gonna happen.
Well, we talked about that on the New Artist Spotlight that we did on the Creakers. That's what kind of drew us to them, was the simple fact that they're just around, like you said, picking and grinning, like just sitting around. That's what people do down in the holler and stuff like that. They can do some yee shit and everything like that, but a lot of them, they just like pick up an instrument and what's the one that
they thought that was hilarious that you called it a cajone. Like they were joking about that. They thought that was great. They were like, I never heard it called a cajone before, and we've been saying that since then.
Yeah, heck yeah. That dude's got some big cojones between his legs.
Yes. So that's Ashton plays the cajon, the box drum. And they told a funny story about Ashton. I'm sure he didn't probably love it too much. So when I sat with them in the green room trailer, it wasn't all of them. Their banjo player Scott wasn't there and Anna wasn't there, but it was Ashton and Jagger and their brothers, and then Tanner and Alan that we chatted with. And if you guys haven't seen that little episode thing, that was kind of an impromptu podcast recorded from my cell phone in the green room at the machine shop, you guys check it out. And there's definitely some funny stuff in there in that episode for sure.
Yeah. Who's the manager?
Tim. Oh shoot! Am I drawing a blank? Is that right?
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Whoever he is, I didn't personally meet you. I would remember you if I met you. And the reason I remember you, and the reason I'm giving you a shout out right now, is I saw their video on the ride up to Flint.
The beef jerky one.
No, not that. It might have been, but I was more. He had some Bottomlands camo on.
Oh,
his flannel shirt was Bottomlands, and I was like, "That's a badass shirt, bro." And then you had a video of him as well, that when you guys were with him, and so I was like, "Yeah, see, you don't even know what Bottomlands is, so like we would have bonded over that, and I would have remembered his name."
It's Tim. I just confirmed it.
Yeah, you looked it up.
Yeah, well, I said Tim.
Used the Google machine.
No, I looked on Facebook. Just to verify that I was right. And I was right. I don't remember names for shit. Like, that's my biggest downfall. I'm horrible with names.
So you think you know country music? I know all the names to every artist ever singing a country song.
I can remember lyrics like nothing. I can't remember people's names.
That's bullshit. You know everybody, and I'm the one that knows the lyrics, and I'll sing the song, and you're like, who sings that? And I'll be like, I don't know.
Songs, yeah, I can remember like an artist name tied to a song, but if I go and meet somebody,
right.
And they're like, hey, my name's John, and I'm like, oh, nice to meet you, John, and then like 5 minutes later, someone's like, hey, what was that dude's name? And I'm like, Bill? I don't remember. It was a common name. I remember that much, but I couldn't tell you.
But yeah, anyhow, so that was the little debacle. That was the week after we went to see Mae Estes and Priscilla Block. At
that show, this guy opened up for him that wasn't supposed to open for him. It was kind of a last-minute switch for that 3-date run that they were on. I think they did Indianapolis, Columbus, and Flint, and they brought him to do those 3 shows because something happened with whoever was supposed to open. That guy's name's Jordan Lee King, and he was really good. Just him and his guitar up there by himself, kind of like when we saw Mae the first time. Yeah. And so if you guys haven't checked out Jordan Lee King yet, definitely do that. The dude was great.
Was he local kind of?
No, he's another area? Kentucky guy.
Oh, okay. So they brought him up then.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So
nice. So yeah, then we'll fast forward into, and this is Matt's bread and butter here, where, if it was up to Matt, he'd go to a concert every night of the week to get some live music in. Obviously, we don't get to do this kind of thing that often, but yeah, it was Mae and Priscilla. Fast forward a week, you went and seen the Creekers. Fast forward less than a week, and we kind of did a divide and conquer of the state of Michigan this past Thursday before snowpocalypse shut everybody down. So you want me to go first, or you go first, or what do we?
You can go first.
All right. So with the Divide and Conquer tour that we were on, once you become internet famous podcast stars, such as some people we know. We actually got a really cool opportunity and got reached out to and got invited. Y'all Need Music podcast. Got invited to Van Andel Arena into a private suite luxury box to see Bailey Zimmerman was the headliner. We've seen Bailey Zimmerman before. Absolutely phenomenal. So super excited about that. But the most thing that I was excited for was our boy Blake Whiten was the opener at Van Andel sold out arena. And that was where when the invite was passed out a while back, I was like, yeah, Bailey Zimmerman's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to go see him. Like, let's do this. Did not know at the time that it was a private suite box that we were invited to, and agreed to go if that opportunity came. And then once I found out that Blake Whiten was the opener, then I was like, oh, and I was like, yep, let's do this. Do this. No brainer. So Blake Whiten opened, Hudson Westbrook was the middle, and then Bailey Zimmerman was the the main act for the night. All I can say is that all the followers out there, everybody that watches this, please keep telling your friends, telling your family, spread the love, spread the word, because Y'all Need Music podcast definitely needs a box at Van Andel Arena.
Right.
So when Matt was talking about the Creakers, about that was the best concert experience that he's ever had. Because
I wouldn't say best experience. It was just the vibe was the vibe. I had more fun than I've had in a long time with the artist's vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had more fun than I've had in a long time at a concert.
Without me?
That was the best part. That was the best part. No, it was, oh God. Like, I don't even want to go see a concert again until we have a box.
Yeah.
And I'm super bummed that to be honest, like, I did not know that it was a box until 4 days prior. Maybe.
Oh, I thought it was clearer than that before that.
No, I just thought it was tickets when I got the invite from this company that has the private.
I misunderstood because I thought it was a suite the whole time.
No, I mean, no, because I didn't know until like the week before. Okay. I want to say
I must have misunderstood it then.
Yeah, so it was just unreal. You enter through a private entrance, private security, private everything. You go into this box, and it's this huge room. The coat closet alone was like the size of, gosh, the coat room was the size of like most bathrooms at some of these venues that we go and see, and then it has this massive private bathroom, and then you get out to the main area and it's just tables and a fridge stocked with anything you can imagine drink wise, as far as beers, wines, seltzers, waters, colas, and then you had food everywhere, just spreads, appetizers, chip dip, chips, popcorn, and then you had a private server that like kept checking back in. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And then you have glass that looks out to the main arena. And I told Matt this was like the cleanest glass I've ever seen in my life, because you couldn't even tell the glass was there. Like, I almost felt like I was reaching, like, oh shit. But then it opened up, and there was like, I don't know, 2 rows of 10 seats each there, but they were like the
nice comfy seats.
Yeah, but it was like the handicap, like every seat like had so much leg room, and then the view, it was unobstructed. I mean, we were straight on or just off from the stage. but the unobstructed view, like you didn't have to worry about somebody being too tall standing in front of you, right, or this person blocking or bumping into you or anything. Like it was just unreal. Blake Whiten, I mean, we called that one, did a new artist spotlight on him. Was it last year or the year before?
I think it was early last year.
Last year. We wanted to do it the year before, but we didn't get it out in time before season 1 ended. But yeah, so we did that. We got to go and see him in Nashville, got to hang out with him.
Yep.
Did a little video with him. I was really hoping to connect with him, but I know that he was super busy with the tour and everything, but absolutely phenomenal. He killed it. The only negative thing that I can say about his performance had nothing to do with him. It's that he went on so early that the stands weren't filled yet.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody around us, everybody that we heard passing, I asked every person that was in the box, because I didn't know like a lot of these people, because it was, you know, executives and big wigs and shit like that. But I made sure that like I asked everybody like, hey, what'd you think of him and everything? And they were like, who was that? Like, he was phenomenal. He was awesome. That's country music. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you see that cup that he has in his hand right there? Like, he just turned 21. He can barely even drink right now. Like, that's how young.
Yeah.
I'm lying. He's 22 now, but it was pretty funny. Like, you know, a little baby face coming out there, but sounding like he was a 70-year-old man smoking cowboy killers for 30 years. But he put on a hell of a show. It was awesome.
Well, and I'm just going to interrupt, you know, because it's the perfect time to say it again. Show up for the damn openers. Like, you guys are missing out on incredible talent over and over and over and over again. Yeah. And it's unreal to me the amount of people that miss good freaking music because they're just there for Bailey. And it's like, oh, I've never heard of this guy. Well, you're going to, and you're going to think, shit, I could have seen him for nothing because I already had the Bailey tickets, but I wasn't worried about going for the opener because all I had tickets for was Bailey, and that was all I was thinking about.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. There was even one of the guys that was in the suite. I barely got to meet him because he was one of those guys that he was probably answering a million emails and stuff like that. And from the time that we got in the suite, he was sitting down in his seat and he was just, you know, he wasn't like on social media or anything. I could tell he was working. And I was sitting over this way and I kept kind of looking back, like, because I wanted to see kind of everybody's reaction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he, you know, the first song, he was still kind of like this, kind of looking up and everything like that. By the third song, he was just like had his phone in his hand, like mid-conversation. It was just like staring. And by the fourth song, phone was away. He didn't get his phone out until after Blake was off stage. Like, and it was like, and that was one of the guys that I made sure I went up to, and I was like, hey, what'd you think of him? And he was just like, who was that? And I was like, I told him, and he was just like, wow, like unreal. So yeah, super awesome. Like, I'm so glad. Like, it was kind of like where we talked about, like, we went to the Mae, you know, intersection for Mae Estes. Like, when Blake got done playing, I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't care what happens from here on out. Like, I am good. Like, I just got to see Blake, who we, you know, kind of predicted and talked about. He was a new artist spotlight. Make sure you're following him. He just opened a sold out Van Andel arena, even though that half the people weren't there.
Right.
But everybody that was there was, you know, the hype was there, and he did not disappoint.
Right.
So after that, Hudson Westbrook came out. That was the first time I had seen Hudson Westbrook. Did not know he was as young as what he is.
Yeah.
I called this the Babyface tour because I think the combined age average between the three people that performed was probably 22 years old. But super funny story. He was telling that apparently he missed 2 of his flights to get to this Grand Rapids concert because they had power out back at his home.
Okay.
And he was meeting with contractors to try to get the power on for his family before he took off, and missed his 2 flights. And so he decided that he was just going to drive the next morning and drive it. And something happened and his alarm didn't go off. He woke up late and he wasn't going to make the show. And he's like, yep, had to take a private jet up here. He goes, that was only the second time I've ever been on a private jet. God, I hate those things. I do not recommend. So pretty much, yeah, it's a wash. Hopefully you guys enjoy this concert. Basically, whatever his cut was to come for that, he blew it on a private jet just so he could make it to the concert on time.
Well, that's dedication.
That's exactly what I said. I was like,
kudos. He could have canceled.
Right. I was like, dumbass, like, what the hell? Like, you missed 2 flights, your alarm, and it was like, but obviously power's out, shit's going on. We all know about that with snowpocalypse going on right now, but definitely dedication.
Yeah.
Put on a great show. Tasha said that she is now a Hudson Westbrook fan. I mean, we were fans beforehand, but she's more of a fan now after seeing him perform.
Yeah, he's a great songwriter too.
Yep. So he did awesome. And then Bailey came out. We've seen him at Tailgate Tall Boys.
Up on Mountain Dew.
Oh my gosh. So he went from the couple times that we've seen him before, he went from like, he's a really good singer and he has lots of energy.
Too much energy.
Oh God.
It's like, calm down.
Chill, dude. Chill.
I bet he was a handful for his mom. I know he talks about his mom. I don't hear about his dad, but he had to have been a handful as a kid.
Oh God. Yeah, probably. But yeah, he and we're gonna post these videos. I wanted to do this recap first, but we got some videos of Inside the Suite, some of Blake's performance, some of Bailey's and Hudson's and stuff. We'll post on the Facebooks and Instagrams and TikToks. But yeah, he went from like, we said it, he was one of those artists that when he's on stage live, you can close your eyes and you swear you're listening to the radio.
Yeah.
Like, he's that spot on. But he went from like lots of energy, and we love that, to a full on like production, Lainey Wilson type production, as far as the pyros and the bangs and the booms and the jumping off this, like, it was wild. So yeah, probably the most fun that I've had in a long time. I'm guessing mainly because it, like, I felt like we were internet famous, or like these world famous we were royalty podcasters that apparently, or hopefully someday we eventually will be at the status to where we can do more cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely a little out of the wheelhouse and a little overwhelming at time, but it was just like, I'm sorry, man, I don't think I ever want to go to a concert with you until you get a box for us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, and while Jesse was doing that, I was in Cadillac at the Venue Event Center there.
Event Center.
And, we're big supporters of the Venue Event Center. We love smaller venues. Now that Jesse's a private suite snob, maybe he won't be a big supporter of small venues. But at the end of the day,
they give us the VIP treatment, baby.
That's true.
Jeremy, Venue Event Center.
The thing for me is, like, would I have loved to have been there to see Blake and do the sweet thing and everything? Sure. Yeah, without a doubt. But also, part of what keeps these smaller venues alive and bringing music year round to you is showing up to the show and buying tickets.
Right.
And so we want to do that as much as we possibly can. Whether it be the machine shop or whether it be the intersection or whether it be, the venue. These are smaller, privately owned venues. It's not Ford Field. It's not Van Andel. It's not Little Caesars, right? Most of them are mom and pop kind of places that a family owns that put a ton of work and money out to bring these artists to you. Oftentimes closer than a drive to Detroit or, wherever it might be. And so that's what I did. I went to the not to the machine shop, to the venue to see Tyler Farr. So it actually ended up being a really cool night.
Campbell.
So before Jesse Campbell was the Boardman River Band, who we met the lead singer at Cassius
Culpepper.
And I haven't told you this story yet, but I'll share it with you in a minute. So it was Boardman River Band and then the Jesse Campbell Band. And then Tyler Farr actually brought a dude with him that was like an unannounced special opener, if you will, that Tyler thinks extremely highly of, and rightfully so. A young kid named Will Terry that has a great sound, has a really small following right now on social media, speaking in the realm of things. But dude, this kid is so freaking good. So good. You're going to be hearing his name a hell of a lot more. And Jesse and I haven't really talked about it much, but it's someone that I could see us certainly doing an artist spotlight on in the near future. He
came up with Tyler?
Yeah, he actually rode on the tour bus with Tyler.
Okay, so he's from down south then?
Yep, from Nashville. Okay. He's from Georgia, but lives in Nashville now. Right. Any rate.
Cole Bradford?
No. Different guy from Georgia.
Oh, okay.
But anyway.
Kevin Adcock.
So, I'm talking with the lead singer of the Boardman River Band after their set, and he's like, dude, I so messed up. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I got here earlier for sound check, and I seen Jesse Campbell, and I thought it was your Jesse from the podcast. And I go up to him, and I'm like, oh, dude, you're here. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, right on. He's like, yeah, I got to do sound check. And he's like, huh? I thought you do a podcast. And so him and I and Jesse Campbell were talking after the whole thing was done at the end of the night about it. It was pretty funny. But I don't know if you remember when we went to the Sunrise Side Music Festival, Nick did the same thing.
I was going to say, don't these people know, like me, I'm like 5'11". Jesse Campbell's like 6'8". Like right. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Why do people keep messing us up just because we got the same badass name?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I thought it was really funny that he made that mistake and thought that that's who it was. But killer show. The venue has, listen, Jeremy has continued since day one to put money and, put your money where your mouth is on making a venue better, right? Anytime he's getting suggestions for ways to make it better, he's doing upgrades. And so now they have this massive monitor behind the artists. Instead of, they had them smaller screens where they would have. Now it's huge. Takes up the whole back of the stage.
Like a Jumbotron.
Yeah. Well, in addition to that, and I'm going to sound utterly ridiculous at this point because I'm not sure exactly how it works, but like Jesse Campbell did it first during his set. He actually did like a walkout, like a Morgan Wallen walkout, and they were recording him walking out, and it was playing on the big screen behind the stage, which was really freaking cool. And then they did the same thing with Tyler Farr, which really encouraged both of them during their sets to come off the stage into the crowd and walk around singing in the crowd, high-fiving. Tyler Farr sat at a table with some people that had a reserved table and like sang probably half of a song like to them at their table, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, big changes at the Venue Event Center, always evolving, making it better. Great music from all four artists. But that Will Terry was a very unexpected surprise addition that was incredible. Talked to him after the show as well. He signed the guitar that we're giving away. But just super like this dude, I'm telling you, like you look him up later and give him a listen, and I want to hear who you think he sounds like, because he sounds like two different artists to me, both of whom are pretty big names. Okay. And just a great sound, but super young kid. So a lot of road in front of him to make it happen.
Sure. Oh yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So wait, did you say that Tyler Farr sat down at your VIP table, that reserved table?
No. I didn't do a table. I was up stage front. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about, like let's get that little VIP table action going, not quite the box at Van Andel, but
for me, depending on the show, right? There's times where I want a seat and a table would be nice, at some shows, but other shows, like I want to be right up there in the thick of it with the people.
Yeah, move the table right up there.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Can you guys do me a favor? Can you guys put Jeremy? Can we get a table on stage?
On stage, yeah,
off to the side. I actually saw a show like that before. Who the hell was that? God, Thompson Square. It's been a number of years ago. I won it from a radio station, and I got to sit on the stage for the whole show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I seen a Zac Brown band at the casino. Actually, it was like the year after we met, and I remember talking to you and Dan about it, and you guys had a not great experience with Zac Brown band at Faster Horses. Yeah. And then we were going to see him. And so I didn't have super high expectations just from the way you guys talked, because I had never seen them before. Blew my mind. They played a phenomenal show, but they had like a bar on stage, like a couple whiskey barrel like seats.
Yep.
And they had people from the crowd that got to sit up there for like the first act, and then they swapped it out for the second act. And
oh, nice.
So it's like, that would have been so cool to be sitting right there on at the bar drinking while you're listening to Zac Brown band and 60,000 people or whatever. But yeah, I mean, Jeremy, that you're constantly doing upgrades to the bar and to the venue and everything. So maybe we need a little two top right up there in the corner, and we can talk during the intermissions and announce the artists and everything like that, and keep people engaged and keep people buying drinks and stuff like that. So, and then we'll sit off in the corner, nobody puts baby in the corner, but
it'd make it be a lot easier to get like set lists and guitar picks and drumsticks. Like, hey, just hand it to me. You don't got to throw it.
And I'll promise that I won't let Matt get a microphone and start singing along to the songs, because nobody wants to hear that.
Matt knows that.
Maybe I'll dance though. Like the hammer dance. Whoa, oh.
All right, yeah. So on that note,
I just had to get this to an even 60 minutes, so I had to do that little dance.
So yeah, that was the recap. We've got more shows coming up. Next few, I think, are at the venue and at the Machine Shop.
Yep. Keep it local, keep it small, and again, like Matt was talking about, as badass as it was to get that box at Van Andel and be invited to experience the true VIP, which was awesome, and it's kind of like a shout out to this podcast actually like it's not just me and Matt just talking to nobody here. Like people are appreciating it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I still do appreciate the small, intimate venue to where I can be right there. You just feel the music so much more. I would have liked nothing more than to have Blake White in at Cadillac Venue Event Center, standing right there, singing, with us right there. So
yeah,
that might be one right there, Jeremy. Cadillac Event Center.
I told him that night we were
Center.
talking when I told him you weren't there and where you were at and why we were splitting, forces. And I was like, this is somebody that you should try and get now because it ain't gonna be long and it would never be an option again.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. We've talked about it many times before. Like Matt said, see the opener. Ella Langley talked about it where, it'd be great to see the opener or see Ella Langley or Lainey Wilson when it was a $15 ticket, as opposed to, I think I looked at the Stapleton Lainey Wilson tickets for Ford Field this year, and they're on the low end $300. So
right.
For nosebleeds. So yeah, go see the opener. You never know who you're going to see front stage and center.
Yeah, well, and another thing, real quick too, because I didn't mention this, and I bought merch for everybody, koozies and whatnot. Let me just give one last shout out to the Creekers because they had the most reasonably priced merch I've seen in probably 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
$20 t-shirts.
Nice.
Nobody does $20 t-shirts anymore. You're lucky if you can get a $20 hat.
You don't even sell me a t-shirt for $20.
No. I charge $30.
Right.
Any rate, you guys go to
buy
the shows.
Merch, hit the follows.
Make sure you're there for the openers. Check these artists out. If you're in Michigan, obviously go to these venues we're talking about. If you're not in Michigan, you've got these venues nearby too. Go support them. Go support the artists that are there. Go see the openers. Buy the merch. That's what puts money in their pocket. And have a damn good time with your friends and enjoy live music.
Who knows? You might have the best time without your friends.
It's true. Especially if you're backstage hanging out in the green room.
Or in a VIP suite with unlimited drinks.
Right. So, anyway, we'll catch you guys next time. We've done enough rambling for tonight. So, we will catch you next time on
Y'all Need Music Podcast.
Later.
Out.